Hello, I'm Gavin Foster, and today I'll be going over my midterm project. I chose a small office building to construct for the building, comprised of two different levels. First, I'll discuss the level 2 process map used for this project. Moving directly to the right of the Start Process square is the Define Building Requirements box. The responsible party is the building owner at this stage, and it is on him or her to make sure that all involved parties are aware of necessary inclusions during the construction. This box leads into the building size and usage part of information exchange. The next step in the process map requires the creation of an architectural model. The responsible party is the architect, and two pieces of reference info go into this step, being LOD 300 requirements and Revit architectural standards. This step leads to walls, doors, windows, floors, columns, and stairs under information exchange. Next, a structural model is required to be made. The responsible party is the structural engineer, and the corresponding reference info is Revit structural standards. This leads into columns, beams, and foundations in the information exchange section. Next, the architectural and structural models must be linked and coordinated within Revit. This leads to a coordinated BIM model. The generation of construction documents comes next, with construction engineers being the responsible party. Construction document standards are the necessary reference info, while floor plans, elevations, sections, and structural details are the resulting information exchange. Finally, it falls back on the owner to make sure that LOD 300 compliance is met and all plans meet the building requirements. Once their OK is given, the yes arrow can be followed to the end process circle. Now I'll discuss the layout and purpose of my design building. As previously mentioned, this building will be used as a small office building with 2 stories. This layout is made up of a larger rectangle measuring 25 feet by 50 feet and this smaller rectangle at the entrance measuring 6 feet by 40 feet. The first floor contains an open reception area, 4 offices, and stairs leading to the next level. 4 architectural columns can be found placed at the building corners, and each room has a door and windows. Moving on, we can look at the second floor. This floor has an identical layout to the first floor. Again, it has 4 offices as well as an open lounge area. The stairs are an open staircase, and guardrails were placed around the floor opening that was cut out for the stairs. Doors and windows stayed in the same places on the second floor as well. Moving on to the construction documents, I started out with my 3 architectural views. The first 2 views are the ones that were just included in the previous slides, so I've already talked about them in detail. The third sheet is an architectural style of the roof, or is an architectural view of the roof. I used a flat roof style for this building. Next came the elevation drawings. The north-south elevations are pictured on the left, and the east-west elevations are pictured on the right. The foundations are also visible in these views. Foundation walls are placed right below ground level, and the foundation slabs are the wider layer that can be seen below. Next came 2 section view drawings. The first cut was made from the middle of the building facing the stairs, or east. The reception and lounge areas lie on the right side of the view, while offices are on the left. This section also provides a better view of the underground foundations. The next cut was made from the middle of the building facing the offices, or north. 6 offices can be found along the back wall of this section, while the other 2 can be seen hugging the left wall. Finally, the last construction documents were made from structural drawings. The first one shows the level 1 structural slab and foundation plan. This view shows structural steel columns, which are the smallest black square in any of these square stacks. Um, Structural concrete columns, which are the medium-sized gray square in these stacks, and foundation slabs, which are the large squares. In addition, foundation walls are pictured in the shape of the perimeter of the building. Grid lines are placed to assist in locating the columns. The level 2 structural plan shows steel columns again, or the small black squares. Beams were placed in between these columns for support. I used a W24 by 55 side for the beams. To conclude, I'll discuss lessons that were learned during the completion of this project. First, I found this work to be significantly helpful practice with structural components. I struggled a bit in our previous assignments dealing with structure, so this cleared up a few confusions. Specifically, I learned how to properly locate the foundation slabs. Next, I found the project to be a great refresher on creating floors and roofs. I originally had a hard time with the precision of drawing floor boundaries, and I found much more success with it on this midterm. Finally, I feel like I came away with learnings on view scales. Based on the law office we created in our homeworks, I thought that a quarter inch equals 1 inch was always the proper option to select. However, after working with a different sized building, I can see that's not the case. I used a scale of 1/2 inch equals 1 inch on the majority of my views to fit them into construction drawings. Thank you for listening to my presentation.